we're going to start over here in the clear space, and we're just going to knife over, because we have to knife over these parts. Okay, and I'm going to click there for my first knife cut. Over here, it's parallel there for that knife cut, and just continue it on out to here for my third knife cut. Okay, so as you can see now, we've screwed our fender up. But I'm not going to deal with that right now because as you can see, we've got a big triangular place here. That's no big deal. We can go back and correct that. What I was concerned about was the geometry here on the hood, and that's okay. So here we are. So I'm going to deselect those. Now I'm going to select the points by going down here, clicking on the, whoops, nope, I didn't want that. Okay. So I'm going to constrain myself to the x-axis, and I'm just going to put this over here, about right there, at the edge of this. Alright, move it over just a little more. If we move along the x-axis, we're not going to disrupt the geometry of the hood to the point where we're going to have to fix it or anything. Okay, I'm going to leave this right here because I'm going to make a different knife cut. I hate that. Oops. I'm going to make a different knife cut across this because, again, we've got some points all over the place, and we don't want to get into the habit of creating a lot of work for ourselves by moving these points along the y-axis and having to readjust them. So I'm going to zoom in here and catch this. Okay, now I want to create a knife cut here. Could I just cut off at this point? Yeah, but I'm going to be creating a triangle, and I don't like triangles. So what I'll do is, once again, move out just a little bit, and I'm just going to go to lines, and I'm going to select all these, this one and this one. Okay, now I'm going to do my other knife cut. So okay, knife exact. I'm just going to come in here and cut this along here, and about right there, and on over to here and here. Okay, we're going to be dealing with the same thing here, some funky geometry. Actually, look like it hit a straight line in there. That's odd. It's probably triangulated anyway. So we have the basics now. As you can tell, no change in the geometry, and this is what we want. Okay, I'm going back to, let's see, point edit mode. Now I'm going to select, let's see, this point, bring it in, no, sorry, I don't need GX, and I'm just going to bring it in a little bit, this point to GX. Okay, now GX here and GX. So here we're beginning to see that zoomed a little too much there. Okay. Now we can begin pulling this in. Just going to grab these two, save some time, GX, and we're going to pull them in to where they're very, very close to this, not just touching dead on. Like I said, we can always go back and wait a minute. Okay. I think I'm just getting some over. Let me go back and, okay. Yeah, I'm getting a little overshot there, so I'm going to select these so I can tell G, X, K, and G, X. Okay, that's pretty close, and I'm going to click on that. Alright, now, simply to get a hole here, we're just going to delete the faces. And once I go in here and select all these points, as you can see, it gives me a clean face here. So I just go to polygons, and well, I really don't need to because it's already, well, here I'll go. Go back to points. Deselect them. Okay, go to polygons and just select these two faces and hit delete. Faces. Okay, there we go. Okay, as you can see here, looks like there's a little anomaly here. There's not. That's the underside of the fender. So let me demonstrate that. Okay, we got a nice clean hole there, and those are the holes for our headlights. We can do the same thing with these scoops in here, or we can simply just lay the scoops on the hood. I might just do that just to show you that it is one way which you can do it. But here we've got this nice clean hole there. This headlight isn't going to be adjusted any except right at the edges where I'm going to put in a few more points maybe and round them off, make them look a little more realistic. So let's go back and let me show you something that we do need to do here with this model. I'm going to save this. Okay, yes, final stage is blend. Okay, this little cursor thing here, you know, it's always in the way, but I'm going to show you once we get into moving parts how this thing's going to be our best friend. I hate it now, but in the future it's going to be quite useful. Okay, as you can see here, we've got a little issue here at the edges. The car is simply just not really as wide as we need it to be. Now, there's one easy way to fix this, and I'm going to show you. Alright, I'm going to hit Control I, which selects this whole side of the car. Then I'm just going to hit G, X, and I'm just going to, you know, bring it out a little bit, make it a little bit wider. It doesn't have to be completely dead accurate. We're going for the real look of the car here. And let's see how that is. A little more. GX. Okay. There we go. Okay. Looks a little more bold, you know. Maybe it's a little wider than it should be, but that's okay. We can go back. Now, as you can see, we have a problem here. Alright. This is separated. Now, could we go back in and just pull these points over here? Yeah, we could, but the problem with this is that we've extruded this, and as such we have a complex surface back here. And if we start pulling these extruded points around, it's going to cause problems. So there's a simple way to fix this. Just come down here to the merge limit and increase it to 2. Alright, and look, it's in good shape. Let's take a look and see. Ooh, yeah, that's really starting to look sharp. Okay. Pardon me. Well, I'm going to close this part of the tutorial out, and we're going to move on. Actually, I'm going to add to one of my other tutorials, my hexagon tutorial. You can check that one out. I'm using hexagon, and we're modeling a Maserati Meroc. Now, what we're doing in that one is polygon reduction modeling, which is an entirely different kind of modeling. Here, we're just kind of sheeting the car with metal, digital metal. In that tutorial, we're basically starting with a big cube, subdividing it, and working down. In hexagon, actually works a lot more efficiently than this. In Blender, it's a, you know, well, you probably could do the same thing, but I don't know exactly where the tools and procedures would be found because everything in Hexagon's icon based. So if we look at our car, it's really starting to look sharp. There's some issues here we're going to deal with, but we'll smooth those out in time. I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up as to where we're going with this and what it's going to look like. Thank you for watching my tutorial. Please leave your comments and contact me, Lord. Contact me you if you need anything, any advice or anything like that, and I'll do the best I can to help you or clarify things. And I've gotten a lot of comments and constructive criticism on these, and it's really helped me because these are really the first set of tutorials I've produced, and I can always use a little bit of feedback and help. Positive feedback. I've had a few people that got really juvenile, and thank God YouTube has a delete and block user function, is all I have to say. So there are so many morons in the world doesn't need any more. So if you're going to say something, be a little encouraging. If you want to criticize my tutorials, hey, produce your own. If you can do them better than I can, hey, more power to you. But most likely it'd be a speed tutorial. So with that, I sign off. Thank you once again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.